Hello, Captains. It's me, TONIK TZW, here in the legendary Dansk. That's what I'm going to call it, not the Gdansk. I'm going to call it the Dansk from now on. This one is titled Dark Destroyer, and I am a relentless hunter. And trust me, you are going to want to watch this one start to finish. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment after the game. Let me know what you thought of this one. This is my build. You'll see I've got Turret Traverse in that first slot. And we're not really running a lot of concealment because we've got William Sims there for a lot of extra hit points. And we've got Modoff to give us a better reload. Fourth slot there on Swirsky is the one trick pony of this ship. There are a lot of battleships in this game. There's one cruiser and there are 3 destroyers. Let me just tell you now, we are going to meet all 3 of those destroyers in this game. And not only that, but it is a new personal XP record. And little bit of a spoiler, but let's just say I finished the entire heroic effort and then some in this one game. So if you know what's needed to finish the heroic effort, you've got an idea of what's coming up. Now, I've got a defense behind me. Our Halland doesn't start playing until late game. And even then, he's going to be struggling, I think. Caps a king in domination. This thing certainly doesn't seem fast. I'm not going to waste my engine boost early game. But early game, this thing on a capture point can be an absolute monster with the radar and smoke combination to give you a 30-second radar. We're turning into the cap. We're going to get on it. I'm always wary of torpedoes. There is a Velos out there. There is a Gearing. And there is a Shimikaze. So there's the chance of very fast torpedoes, very slow but very hard-hitting torpedoes, or an entire wall of skill from the Shima. I'm broadside in a cap, but we're going to sort that out a little bit. And we're going to watch and wait to see if we get contested. We're trying to keep our detection ring, so there's a tiny little bit of space between us and the edge of the cap, so that when we do get contested, we can immediately hit that radar. Covering my backside here by putting torpedoes out across that corner, but it doesn't look like red team want to have any part of this cap. The defense that's there, sort of to the south of this capture point, was screaming for me to get back the whole time. And I did come up on mic and I said, look, mate, it's domination. I am going for the caps. We light up that guy on radar because he's rolling his smoke. We're going to get on guns. He has us spotted momentarily, but it's good to see that the team are chipping in on that one. I now roll my smoke screen to extend it further, and we're pushing 6 seconds, 5 seconds. It's running down. Now, because I don't have the main battery accuracy mod in the first slot for this ship, it does seem a little bit all over the place, and these shells are quite floaty, but we're going to do everything we can to this Gearing before he disappears. And there he goes. Knocks out my engine, but we're going to repair that. And knowing full well that he is close and he is low health, we are going to keep pushing. We're going to push the smoke screen. We get spotted. There he is. He's low health. We've got our engine boost on. Whether or not he's fired his torpedoes, I don't know. So we're just going to stay on him until he's gone. And then we're going to get slammed off a Yami. Boom. There is 20% of our hit points. So he obviously had HE loaded, knowing full well that I was going to run their destroyer down. So a good bit of play and decision making there for the Yamato. Now, with a big fat Yamato out there, pretty much on the edge of torpedo range, you'd think I might go and chase him. But let me just say that I am not going to chase damage in this game. I'm not going to chase a kraken, although there are going to be opportunities. And as I said, you're going to want to watch this one start to finish. We see the Zhao. He's nasty. He's got those long-range torpedoes. I'm just hanging on the edge of this cap. I can see that they've lost the destroyer across on Charlie Cap, and that is going to be my next port of call. Now, if I was the destroyer on Charlie Cap and I took the cap and I knew that the other destroyer was dead, I would go chasing those battleships. So what I'm going to do is I initially think about going to the right, but then I think, well, hang on, there's a Montana and there is a Grosser Kurfürst there as well. So they're going to push through because they think they have got the advantage. Meanwhile, the rest of our team is hanging back because the Velos, who should have been on air cap, has decided to run down the flank and try to torpedo everything. So you may think that I feel a little bit guilty about running away and leaving those guys to their own devices and at the mercy of the Velos. Well, let me just say, I don't feel in the slightest bit guilty about that. The reason why is because I am playing for victory. And if we can control all three caps, then we don't need to kill all the ships. And here I'm looking that I don't want to touch the cap until that guy is in torpedo range, because I don't want to let him know that I'm there. I want these guys to come out a little bit further before we put the attack in. So excuse me while I take a sip of my tea. I can see my twist and track is pointing off to my rear, and that means that the destroyer is out there. Let my GK finish his turn. One set of torpedoes. Now we're going to put the second. Did we put the second? We were looking for the Montana, see if he was in range, but the GK is in range. So we're going to put a set of torpedoes again towards him. Now, if you're new to the game, what I will tell you is you get 3 points for every 5 seconds that you hold a capture point. If a capture point is being contested, then you don't earn any points. So even though red team have sailed into A cap there, we are still earning on B cap, but red team are not earning for this cap either. We pop our radar knowing that the Shima is getting close. We get a good hit. We run our smoke, hiding us from the battleships, but then we get rid of the GK. And my shells are going all over the place and not doing anything to hit this Shimikaze. But we're going to persevere, and we are going to kill him. We know that he didn't get a chance to get torpedoes off, and so we've now got around 15 seconds, and we will have this capture point back under our control. We're 150 points up, I'd say, at the moment. We're equal on ships. We're only on 29,000 damage. But we are on 3 kills with 6 ships remaining in the game. We got a BA Montana there who's decided that he's not feeling as brave as he did when he had a Shimikaze spotting for him and some backup by way of the GK. But we're going to push in because we've got a torpedo reload coming up. And yeah, he is going to reverse. Now, I'm looking here and I don't realize that basically he's going to pick up a lot more speed. But what I'm thinking is he's going to spot the first set of torpedoes and then he's going to gun his engines forward. Now, I should have thought differently about that. But we break 30k damage, we reduce our reload on our guns, and we're going to pile some HE into that guy, knowing that his guns are looking forward and he's just fired them at the battleships in front. And then we're going to try and drop detection and look at heading back towards the other side of the map. Had I only aimed those a little bit further back, I think this would have been kill number 4 from torpedoes. But but we're trying to get our guns across the top and get some fires on them because we do have good HE penetration on these. We do have a good fire starting chance. It's telling me the island's in the way, but I think we can just get across the top. But look here, B cap is being turned. There is only one person that could potentially be on that capture point, and it is the Velos, because nobody can see anything. So it's got to be the Velos. We don't have smoke available. We do have our radar available, and we are going to push back. We're looking at our twist and track indicator, thinking, is he going to go around the bottom of the island? Do I put my guns left? Do I put my guns right? Do I go through the middle? Do I go through the right? And all these decisions are sort of going on in my head. But we're going to make a decision here that we're going to push forward. We're not going to use our radar just yet because he could be hidden behind an island, and that would be an absolute waste. But we're going to push in. We are going to get detected here, and then we are going to pull an absolute blinder on this Velos, who, as you know from the games that I've played in the Velos, I'm starting to like quite a lot. But this guy's got himself committed. He wants to get all his guns on. We are going to get all of our guns on, and I don't realise then that I was half speed, but then I remembered that I'd done that so that I didn't run past the island. He's going to eat torpedoes for kill number 4. We got an assist on the BA Montana. We have 3 solo caps so far, and there's still lots of big ships left in this game. There is damage to be had, but I am playing for victory because you're never guaranteed a victory. I've got a game in the remat that I'll have to put on the channel as well because it just shows how close it can be at times. I know that the Zhao is still out there, and that is a nasty ship for me to come up against. Oh, Hallen's in the game. I think he's just sailing around spamming dozens and dozens of torpedoes. So he might be on that mission that requires a lot of incapacitations and torpedo floods and things like that. But yeah, it would have been nicer to have him in the game a little bit earlier. These guys look like they're going to come into range. I am on the camp. We've got 30 seconds to go. Worst bit of being a destroyer, hanging your butt in the wind, having to stay pretty much in a very, very small area. And I did look at that Yami and think, can I get onto him? What's the Musashi doing? What are we going to do here? We haven't got smoke. If we had smoke, can we get behind the island? We are spotted momentarily. Can we get a fire on this guy? Yes, we can. Are we going to be able to keep the fires burning and pick up a kraken? Well, we've got the cap, so that is 4 solo caps out of this game. The Musashi is out of range now for torpedoes. We can see the Zhao. He's going to disappear behind an island. I get spotted by the Musashi. We're going to try and put some fires on this guy too, because we've kraken failed twice so far. But as I said, I'm not hunting the kraken. I am not hunting damage, even though there was a hell of a lot of hit points out there to be had. What I am doing is hunting victory. We're going to get out of the way of that Zhao, put the island between he and I, give us a little bit of protection from his guns, but also he does have those torpedoes. So we're going to stay on this Musashi, who is getting absolutely battered. We get another fire. Can we get another fire on this guy? Can we keep him going down? He takes a massive hit off one of our guys. He's still burning. It is a perma fire. One more fire. Come on. We're looking at him ticking down from the fire for the kraken. But there we go. It gets pulled out from underneath us by the Yamato, who does a full send on a low health ship. Now, I would have left that one knowing that he was on fire. He was about to tick out, but I'm guessing he pulled the trigger a few seconds earlier than the shells obviously actually landed. So, 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the game. 4 kills. 4 solo caps, 3 kill assists, missing out on the kraken 3 times. And although I have torpedoes available, I don't want to risk running into torpedoes from the Zao because that would just ruin a really, really nice game of it. Now, I think he might be hiding around that corner, contesting the cap. No, he's running for it. The clock is ticking down. I'm going to move onto this capture point, try and keep my bow into this guy. Can we get an angle for torpedoes? They're not going to make it in this time. And anyway, we're going to hit 1,000 points, finishing on just over 120,000 damage. I'd say that was a pretty all-round game, certainly beating all 3 red team destroyers hands down, toe to toe. And that tells it all. 4,182 XP, which is what, about 1,600 above second place? Yep. And there's our Yami with his 1 kill in 4th position. Congratulations. You stole my kraken. No, there's no kill stealing in this game, of course. Guns off the map. But there we go. An absolute stonker of a game in the Dansk, a new personal base XP record. Not a bad damage total at all. And those caps are always king. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and goodbye.